Hey there, YouTube. It's PD Two Finger, and recently I tried the Reverend Willie's, the 7 through 38. I felt I wasn't used to them being so. They were like so thin that when I pressed on them, they would go sharp. But I also purchased a set of 8 through 40s, and those were great. So I've been a D'Addario guy most of my life, and I had 10 to 46. I had 11s. I had a GK2 pickup. So I had a Roland GR50 guitar synthesizer, and then a GR1. I still have. I have a Roland VG8, which is phenomenal, and a VG88, which I don't care for. So I do use that stuff. I've got a couple Sustainiac guitars with active sustainer systems in them, and one of those has the synth pickup on it, and I use that for specialty recording. VG8 has this. You can turn the guitar into a banjo or a 12-string, and man, for recording, I just love it. I've made some music that I would never be able to make this music if it wasn't for this device. So super special thanks to Pink Jimmy Photon, the guy who was generous to gift me some of this equipment. Now I'm looking at lighter gauge strings, and they're harder to find 8s, 8 to 38. This is what I've come to really love. I love 8 to 38. And the reason I'm making this video, I have a string recommendation, but I also want to ask you guys, what's your feelings on Ernie Ball? Okay, they're like $18 for a 3-pack, so this is the good deal. Now I tried the Darko. This is Martin's brand, and they're $5, 8 to 38. I put them on my yellow Strat and tuned it up a half step and let it sit in the case. And then I took it out today and played it. And I have masking tape on my fingers because they're a little sore. So what I do is I rip a strip of a paper towel, like a Band-Aid, but it's a little longer, and then I'll slather petroleum jelly on my fingertip, and I'll wrap it with the paper towel and then go with masking tape over that. And if it's going to be a rough one, maybe I'll even put some electrical tape over that, and that'll really help to keep it from getting wet or coming off. So this is something I can do which helps when my fingers are sore from playing. I can put ointment on them and cover them up when I'm not playing, and then I'll be able to play a lot sooner than if I hadn't done that. Now, I'm a little different. I had an accident and I'm missing finger tops. So I only play with my index and my pinky. So my fingers really get tore up more because there's only 2 of them to use. Anyway, this is part of the thing why I really love 8s. So I'm asking you guys, do you have a 8 to 38 set you can recommend? Also, what do you guys think about Ernie Ball strings? So you can let me know. I was always a D'Addario guy, always. And I remember I used to say D'Addario. I used to say it that. And it's actually D'Addario is what it is. It's not D'Addario. It's D'Addario. D'Addario. Hi ho D'Addario, the farmer and the dell. So, what do you guys think about these Ernie Ball? These 8 to 38. Should I try them? Now, the ones that I want to recommend to you guys, and I know this is going to sound goofy, every product I've ever bought from this company, I did not like. Actually, a lot of the stuff didn't even fit or didn't work, or they were just, I would say, I hate to use the G word. Like if you buy a guitar from China and they put these like placeholder strings on there and they feel like glue. It's like a Laurel and Hardy, like some little demon comes in, a gremlin, and paints a bottle of like an inkwell style bottle with a horse tail brush and just slathers the rubber cement onto your guitar, and then runs away like it's some kind of an imp or something, and it's a gag, because when you go to slide on the strings, it's like a file, like there's resistance, like it's grabbing like glue. And this is what I don't like about the affordable strings, like the what are they, the Orpheus, but besides the fact that the high E string always broke, they also felt like kind of a little rough, and I really don't like that. That's one of the things I felt about the Darkos, that they could have felt a little smoother. Like the Darkos were like, oh, this is compatible compared to a leading premium brand, but it's like, no, the Darios are smoother than this. So these aren't bad. Like if you're on a budget like me, I hurt my back, life kicked me to the curb, I'm unable to work, and I smell funny, don't have good proper hygiene. And what's the other thing with me, Gomti? My wife is here. Say hi, Gomti. What's the thing with me?
And like things that you find that you're like,
yeah, let's say I all of a sudden it dawns on me, you know what, I like this product.
Yeah, and the next time we go to buy it, it's discontinued and you can't find it anywhere. They stopped making it, they changed it,
or they change it. Yeah, either it's you can't get it anymore, or it'll be like old time farm brand applesauce, and then I go to get it and it's got with cinnamon and pear chunks and broccoli nodules, fortified with chigger maggot sacks and little eggs of Brussels sprouts. So cauliflowers. So it pains me to admit this, but I tried these back before Orange Man Bad. Boy, say that 3 times. Orange Man Bad and his tariff. The ridiculousness where all of a sudden everything got more expensive from China direct. So I bought a couple sets of these in April. They were $4.99. $4.99. So these are Alice AE 537-XL. These are 8 through 38. They're brass colored strings and hexagonal high carbon steel, high performance with a nano coating. Okay, and I know that sounds like a lot of doodah. It sounds like, I've had coated strings where the stuff chipped off and came off, and I'm not a fan of coated strings. But I was like, well, they're $5. I'm gonna, and like the packaging looked like it was, Alice was like, we're gonna make a quality. These are like, they're a little better quality. And guys, I gotta tell you, these are the best guitar strings I've ever played in my life. I know this sounds ridiculous. I've had these things on the guitar. I have an everyday player guitar that sits out. It's not in a case. That's my Cort 45, and I just cut those strings off and I put some Moog, which is a budget. I bought a 10-pack of Moog 9 to 42, and boy, I was like, ooh, those Moogs are they're not the bad Moogs that I thought they were. Once I got used to these Alice AE 537-XLs. So I have these on I have 2 Stratocasters that I rebuilt, repainted, and put, quality. They're Squires. They're $50 guitar that I sand them down. I put a brass block, put brass saddles, put, El Nico 5 pickups in it, real potentiometers with brass shafts. I put a tusk nut locking tuners, and these Strats, they stay in tune. I have an American, and yes, it's a better neck, it's a better finish. Everything on that American guitar is better than these Squires that I've rebuilt, except for the staying in tunability. I can use my tremolo on these guitars and I don't have to tune them. Like with the American, oh my goodness. And I had that guitar, I had professionally installed graphite all the way around, everything on it. And that helped. It helped a lot, but I gotta tell you, I absolutely love these Alice AE 537s. They're like almost $8 a set though. So I don't know. I'm here bragging about these, micro coated. If I was rich, I would go to China and buy the company and give everyone there a big hug. I'm thinking, what am I going to do when Alice stops making these? So what do you guys think about Ernie Balls? What do you think about, am I wrong about the Billy Gibbons? Let me know. Have you tried this stuff? What do you think? Do you have a recommendation on a budget set? Of 8. I'm looking for 8 to 38. That's my thing. And I'm looking at these, and what is it? Well, they're nickel wound. This is what I was playing my whole life. It's the same thing as a Diodario, if it's even at that quality level. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little leery about Ernie Ball. Are they? I know some people love Ernie Ball. Slinkies, it's a big thing, right? Some people have been playing them their whole life. It seems to me all the pros you talk to, it's the same thing. Diodario, And I haven't bought Diodarios for a while, simply because of the pricing on them. But I gotta tell you, I never played anything that even came close to how much I love these Alice AE 537 XLs. You guys need to go and try these strings. If you're into 8s, give them a shot. Hopefully, if we get more people buying them, these things will stay on the market. Whatever the nano coating is on here, it doesn't peel like the traditional coated strings do. It just makes it so they last. These strings have been on my Strat since April, and I play it outdoors. This is a guitar I've been using at the remotes. This is a guitar I play every time I'm not playing my Cork 45, which is, I don't even keep that in a case. I do keep this white Strat that has this set of Alice strings. I keep it in a gig bag. So, go figure. But that's not what's keeping these strings fresh. What's keeping them fresh is the micro coating. So it doesn't peel off. They're great looking strings because the wound ones are brass colored. I really like the way they look. I actually wish that the solid core strings were matching color. I think they do sell a set of those, and they're more money. They're like $12, and I'm looking for budget. So let me know your thoughts on strings, guys. I would love to hear it, especially if you've got a budget set of 8s. The thing is like I said, these, as good as these could be, is what I was used to, what I was playing when I was a kid. And these, it's worth the $2 to me because of how great they play, because they don't break, and I've had the same set since April. That's unbelievable. Typically they would be dead. These strings would be deader than a doornail. And I played last night, and they're fine. These strings are absolutely fantastic guitar strings. So maybe I need to start wiping them down after I play. I know that's supposed to be a thing. Let me know what you guys think. I would appreciate that in the comments section. All the best to you. I try to make this channel helpful. I try to get on here and talk about stuff that I think is good. And within that, there's a sense of humility where, I know I'm not a talented guitar player. I'm not trying to fool anybody. How could I ever think that I was ever going to do anything on guitar after amputating both of my middle finger tops and being left with an index and a pinky to play? So you kind of got to put yourself in my shoes if you're gonna start pointing fingers at people about having an attitude where they think, you know, oh, I'm really something because it's more like, wow, I can't believe I'm able to do, you know, the little bit that I've been able to do, considering completely talentless, and then I have this accident where I'm, you know, missing. I can't use 2 out of 4. That's pretty bad odds. So I like to keep things real, as they say, but at the same time, I know my opinion is valuable, especially when I've spent time and money, and my experience has brought me to realize these Alice AE537XL set is an outstanding set of strings. I ought to contact them and see if they'd sponsor me. That's a laugh. Anyway, you guys, if you have any thoughts or feelings, your opinions are worth just as much, if not more, than anything I could ever come up. So I welcome that in the comments section. Let me know. And I thank you in advance for that. In the meantime, hug your pets and peace.